Hello everyone. In our today's topic, we will going to discuss India and Saudi Arabia's Rupee-Riyal trade. Apart from the Rupee and the Riyal trade, India has also discussed to promote its unified payment system and RuPay card in Saudi Arabia. These issues were discussed during the visit of Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal to Riyadh. The Piyush Goyal is visiting various countries to promote the India's digital payment system and India's economical significance to the world. Because India has become the economical powerhouse of the world after pushing United Kingdom back in 6th place and becoming the 5th largest economy of the world. India has also understood the American influence in the world economy and how they are manipulating their currency dollar to influence every individual economy of the world. So this is a simple arithmetic. We Indians wants to make our country developed nation by 2047 according to the dream of our present Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And Saudi Arabia is one of the most important nations in India's list because of its natural resources. Saudi Arabia possesses around 17% of the world petroleum reserve. Apart from the petroleum, the kingdom has other natural resources like natural gas, iron ore, gold and copper. And India imports around $17.1 billion worth petroleum from Saudi Arabia. Because of that, Saudi Arabia comes second in the India's oil import list. Apart from the Saudi Arabia resources, we Indians know that there are millions of Indians are living in various Gulf countries. Saudi Arabia is among them. Unsurprisingly, there are 1.5 million Indians are there. And this number is very big. Big from the point of view of the Indian diaspora. And the most of these peoples are working in hospitality and mining industry. These peoples are sending the huge amount of remittances in India. And they are contributing in India's forex reserve. Anyhow, let's get back to the Piyush Goyal's visit. Now the question is what the Piyush Goyal was doing in Riyadh. The Piyush Goyal attended the ministerial meeting of India-Saudi Arabia Strategic Partnership Council. He also met the Saudi Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman Al Saud. In that meeting, they talked about how to expand the scope of the trade and commerce, how to remove all trade barriers, and automatic registration and marketing clearance of Indian pharmaceutical products. Also, the feasibility and institutionalization of Rupee and the Riyal trade, and the promotion of UPI and the RuPay card in Saudi Arabia. These are very important things. They all discussed in that meeting. They have also discussed how energy security with vulnerability to climate change can drive economic growth and prosperity. Because Americans and Europeans are too much concerned about the climate change. But they forgot to address their own energy consumption. They are always concerned about their own environment and own climatic security. They are not concerned about the world. They just want to lecture the world in their own terms. Anyway, in that meeting, the minister discussed elaborately on the 41 areas of cooperation. That includes domains of agriculture and food security, energy, technology and IT, and industry and infrastructure. India is also trying to build up institutional tie-up of Exim Bank of two countries because India wants to invest in the third country with the help of the Saudi money because Saudi have oil and they have money. And India wants to invest that money in the collaboration of Saudi Arabia in some of the infrastructure development in third country and also in India. Because Saudi Arabian Prince Mohammed bin Salman in his visit to India announced $100 billion of investment in India. As a result of that, they are jointly developing West Coast Refinery, LNG infrastructure, and development of strategic petroleum storage facilities in India. In the West Coast Refinery, Saudi Arabia is investing $44 billion. The West Coast Refinery is being developed by the state-owned Indian Oil Corporation, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, and the Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited together with the Saudi Aramco and ADNOC. It is coming up in the Maharashtra coast. Its capacity will be 60 million tons. And the strategic petroleum storage, which will be built by the Saudi Aramco, that facility will be in Karnataka's Padur storage. And the capacity of that storage will be 2.5 million tons. So you can see India is exploring every avenue to draw investment in India and promoting digital economy outside of India. And India's main tools to promote the digital economies are the UPI and the RuPay card. And through the UPI system, India will going to promote Rupee-Riyal trade between the countries. And the UPI and the RuPay cards has also been accepted by the Bhutan, Singapore, United Arab Emirates and Nepal. The France has become the first European country to accept the India's UPI and the RuPay card system. The Reserve Bank of India is also exploring multi-engagement models with other countries to spur the operation of these services. The RBI is looking at collaboration between the central banks of different countries to promote the UPI services. In India, the UPI has been used to do the 5.8 billion transaction in June 2022, and all these transactions worth 10.14 lakh crore Indian rupees. The Indian government is also in talk with Japan and China to implement UPI and the RuPay card system in their country. And India is also promoting its currency in the world market as a forex reserve for the other countries. Now, to promote the currency, Reserve Bank of India sets up a system to settle the trade in rupees. But the question is why? The why is very important over here. That's why I will going to discuss every nooks and corner in detail. The first reason is India's trade deficit. India's trade deficit in excess of $150 billion, which is huge for an economy like India. So one of the best way to counter this trade deficit is introducing rupee trade for the major imports. India should have promoted its rupee trade after 2008 recession, but lack of political will put our economy decades back. But now government is promoting it aggressively. And that is why Indian government is sending every minister to every country to promote the rupee trade between themselves and between the countries like India and the other countries. The second reason is the current global dynamics. In this situation, the world is going through the several crises due to the Russia's special military operation against Ukraine. And because of that, the Western countries, especially the United States, put several sanctions against Russia coercively. That created a fearful situation for the countries around the world. And that fear is because of the dollar. The dollar is strengthening every day. Because of that, every country is losing huge amount of forex to import the essential goods. And the countries have understood that how United States is manipulating world economy by using the interest rate of Federal Reserve. That is hurting the emerging market like India, that have been adversely impacted by risk of stance and the strengthening of the US dollar. And these also resulted in net foreign investors outflows from the most of the market due to the flight safety. Now at this very moment, the most important question is whether United States will be angry of this move or not. The whether United States will be angry or not, I don't know. But one thing is very much clear to us, that we don't care. We only care for our own economy and our own interest in our global economy. But this move is concerning for the US deep state, which is run by Pentagon, promoting UPI and promoting rupees directly related to moving away from the SWIFT system. I assume that you know what the SWIFT system is all about. Someone who do not know, I am giving them some brief idea. The SWIFT is a messaging network that financial institutions use to securely transmit information and instruction through a standardized system of codes. That means all these transactions are being monitored by this organization, which is in Belgium. And the Belgium is a part of European Union and the part of NATO. That means they are under US influence. So US is monitoring every transaction of the world. And because of that, there are several credit rating agencies in the United States. Agencies like Moody, Standard & Poor and Fitch. These agencies are influencing the global economy indirectly by gathering data from the different sources of the US government. So it has become very necessary for emerging economy like India to isolate itself from the external effects. When we will be able to eliminate every external influences, then India can become the third largest economy of the world between 2030 to 2035. And we will emerge as a torchbearer of true democracy, true sovereignty and true equality, not like the hypocritic Western world. Now about today's questions. The first question is, India, the UAE and France held their first trilateral foreign ministers meeting in which city? The first option is New Delhi, second option is Dubai, third option is New York and fourth option is Paris. Now the second question. The second question is, which Indian city is the host of Global FinTech Conference in 2022? The first option is New Delhi, second option is Ahmedabad, third option is Mumbai and fourth option is Bangalore. So this is the end of the topic. I hope you will going to find this topic or find my topic informative. So thank you very much. Thank you for your support. If you have any question regarding this topic or any other topic, you can mail me to my email address, which is tuhin.pawar.academy@gmail.com.